subscribe to my channel and press bell icon for latest updates.
Hi, welcome to Learning Monkey. I am Vikram. In this class we'll try to understand minimization by using K-map, and this is the second video on K-map. In our previous video we have discussed about the introduction, in the sense the basic concepts which are related to the K-map, the theoretical part which is related to the K-map, the basic introduction of the K-map has been clearly done in our previous video. If you haven't watched that video, please watch that video and come back here, because we are under the assumption that you have already watched that video. If you haven't, please watch it. So now and every video in our channel is going to be a part of entire course and a playlist. Our suggestion is to follow the entire course so that you can have clear understanding of the concepts, and the link for the playlist is provided in the description below. Now coming to this class, this class is very important for K-maps, because here we will try to understand the logic behind the K-maps, how the minimization is done by using this map. That we will try to understand in this class. Please, our suggestion is to concentrate more and focus more on the concept. If you are not able to understand the concept in one watch, please watch this video as many times as possible until you get the clarity. Now coming to this class, it is represent all the minterms in the expression on the K-map. So given an expression which is a 4-variable expression, and this is the Boolean expression, and it is sum of the products. Now we will try to solve all the sum of the products problems first, and later we will try to understand product of sums, how to minimize the product of sums expressions. That we will try to understand later. So now this is a sum of the product expression with 4 variables, and this is the K-map for the 4-variable K-map. This is the representation for the 4-variable K-map. And one more point that we need to understand before understanding the minimization is, see here, this is the mistake that is frequently done by the people. So the thing is 0 0 0 1, later it is 1 0, but it is represented as 1 1, and it is represented as, and after that the 1 0 is represented. Similarly here also 0 0 0 1 1 1 and 1 0. This is the way in which it has to be represented. Why it has to be represented in this way is, see here, here every code is differentiating only by one variable. If you take this variable 0 0, it is 0 0, and if you take these two variables, if you take these two representations 0 0 and 0 1, 0 1 is differentiating by only one variable. All the adjacent codes are differentiating by one bit. For example, if you take 0 1 and 1 1, 0 1 and 0 1 1 is differentiating by only one bit, which is 0 and 1. See here, it is same, but this 0 has been transferred to 1. And similarly, what happens if you take 0 1 and 1 0? If you take 0 1 and 1 0 in this way here, what happens is, here the bits are not unique, are not differentiating by one unit. Here 0 has been transferred to 1 and 1 has been transferred to 0, which means the difference between these two is 2. It is not unit distance codes. So the discussion about all these concepts has been made in our number system. Okay, so every code, every representation, every adjacent row or column representation should be differentiated by one unit. That is very important to understand. Why it has to be differentiated by one unit, that we will try to understand at the end of this class. Right now, be under the assumption that every representation of every row or column headings are to be differentiated by one unit. Every adjacent representations are to be differentiated by one unit. See here, these are differentiated by one unit. These two are differentiated by one unit. 0 and these two are differentiated by 1 unit. Okay, so that is a very important point to understand. Why it has to be represented, that we will try to understand at the end of this class. Now coming to this class, it is represent all the minterms in the expression on the K-map. So all the minterms 2, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 10, 13, 14, 15, every minterm has to be filled in with 1, for the entire onto the K-map. For example, if you take 2 is 0, 0, 1, 0, so this one is 1. So the discussion has already made in our previous video. We have to fill every minterm with 1, that we have discussed already. So 0, 1, next is 5, so 5 is 1, 0, 1, so it is in 4-bit, it is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, so 0, 1, 0, 1 is this one. Next one is 6, 0, 1, 1, 0, this one. Next one is 7, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, which is 7. And next one is 10. 10 is represented as 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0 here. 13 is represented as 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1. And 14 is represented as 1, 1, 0. 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, this one. And 15 is represented by all ones, means 4 ones, which is there 1, 1, 1, 1. Now what is our next step? Next step is identify all the subcubes. What is meant by subcube? What is meant by a subcube? Collection of 2 power m cells where each cell is adjacent to m cells of the collection. So this is very important to understand. So we have to identify the subcubes. So if you consider this as a big cube, we have to identify subcubes. How that subcubes are to be? How that subcubes are to be is, it is the collection of cells. It is the collection of 2 power m cells. For example, if you consider this as a subcube, is it a subcube? It is a collection of 2 power m cells. So 2 power m means the m value is going to be 2 power 2. So how many cells are there? 4 cells are there. So 4 cells. 4 can be represented in the powers of 2, which is 2 power 2. So the collection of the cells should be in such a way so that it should be in the powers of 2. So this is what we call it as a subcube. This is called a subcube because this is collection of 2 power 2 cells, which means 4 cells. For example, if you want to consider this as a subcube, can it be a subcube? How many cells are there? 6. Can 6 be represented in the powers of 2? No, it cannot be represented in the powers of 2. So this is not going to be a subcube. This is not going to be a subcube. Okay. So this is not a subcube, but this one is a subcube. So what is meant by a subcube? A collection of 2 power m cells where each cell is adjacent to m cells of the collection. So here, what is this collection? It is 2 power 2 cells. 2 power 2 cells. What is the value of m here? M is equal to 2. So each cell should be adjacent to m cells. So m is equal to 2, which means if you take this cell has to be adjacent to 2 cells. So this is adjacent to this one and this one. If you take this cell, this is adjacent to this one and this one. So every cell, each and every cell should be adjacent to m cells. Are you able to get the point? So that is what we call it as subcube. Okay, so and the next point is identify the largest possible subcube. What does that mean? What does that mean is, for example, you have identified this as a subcube, but there is a possibility for you to identify this alone can be considered as a subcube. Is it true or not? Is it a subcube? Yes, this alone. So for example, if you haven't considered this as a subcube, Okay, so but you have considered only this as a subcube. Can it be a subcube? Yes, it can be a subcube because it can be represented in 2 power m sense. So it is 2 power 1 is equal to 2. So these two cells, so we have identified two cells here. These two cells can be represented in the powers of 2, which is 2 power 1. So this is going to be a subcube. It can be a subcube, and this one can be considered as another subcube. But this kind of collection should not happen. We have to identify as biggest possible subcube as possible, as biggest subcube as possible. So here the biggest subcube that is possible with these 4 cells is, this point is very, very important to understand. So the biggest possibility is this one. So in order to get the minimum solution, why we have to collect the biggest possible is in order to get the minimum solution, the minimum number of terms in the final equation, in the final function. In order to get that to be as minimum as possible, we have to take the biggest subcube as possible. So for this combination of cells, this is a subcube and it is the biggest that is possible with this combination of cells. That is very important to understand. Okay, so we have to collect all the subcubes. For example, if you take these 4 combinations, 4 cells are there. These ones, with these ones, what is the biggest possible subcube with these 4 ones? That try to think of it with 4 cells which can be represented as 2 power 2. So this entire combination can be made as a subcube. So this is one subcube and this is another subcube. We have to identify all the subcubes that are possible, and each and every subcube should be as big as possible. That is very important to understand. Why I am stressing this is, in hurry you may consider the smallest possible subcubes. With that we are not going to get the minimum equation. We are going to get a function which is much, it is bit more than the minimum. In order to get the minimum solution, we have to consider the biggest subcubes as possible. Okay, so next one is, this point is very, very important to understand. Please try to focus more on this point. For each subcube, identify variables with same values and remove the variables with different values. For each subcube, so I'll go as slow as possible for this point. This point I will try to make it as elaborate as possible and as slow as possible. So what they are saying is, for each subcube, identify variables with the same values and remove the variables with different values. For example, if you consider this subcube, for this subcube, identify the variables with same values. So here these are the variables Rs. So for this entire subcube, identify the variable with same values. See here. So for this entire subcube, the value of S is same. See here, the one is, what is this? These ones are representing S, right? For Rs, in Rs, this value is representing S and this value is representing S. For this entire subcube, the value of S is same. Okay, so we have to identify the variables which have the same values. So the variable with the same value for the subgroup is S, one variable, and if you take this from this direction for these variables P and Q, the variable with the same value is Q. See here, the variable with the same value is Q is same for this entire subcube. Okay, so this is going to be the minimized solution for this entire subcube. What does that mean is, for example, if you try to elaborate, if you try to expand this subcube, what are those values? Here it is 0 1 0 1, which is 5, 0 1 0 1, P bar Q r bar s. And if you take this cell, what is the value of this cell? 0 1 1 1, it is 7. So we will consider 5 6 is there, but it is not belonging, so it is 7. It is p q r p bar q r s. And if we consider this, it is p q r bar s, and if we consider this, it is p q r s. Now, so this is it representing, so all these ones, if you consider it, isn't representing this entire subcube or not? Yes, this entire subcube is represented by this equation, by this expansion. So each one is representing min term. So we have expanded that min terms. Every min term has been expanded literally. Okay. Now what we have said that we have said that for each and every subcube, identify variables with same values. See here, what are the variables with the same values in this entire equation? In this entire equation, what are the variables which are same? See the value of q. Value of q is same. Sorry, this is s. The value of q is always 1. It is not q bar in some expression, and it is not q in some expressions. So the value of q is same in all the expressions. So we have to identify the values which are same. See here, so for this entire subcube, the value of s is same. Similarly, for this entire subcube, the value of q is same. So we have to identify the variables which are same for the entire subcube. That is very, very important to understand. So that is the reason why. So this point is the entire, this point is the point which helps you in understanding how the K-map is minimizing the equation. Okay, so and the variable which is same, the other variable which is same in this entire expression is yes, s is same, which means s is yes in each and every min term. Okay, the variables which are varying, see here, p bar, but here it is p. So these are varying. So the variables which are varying, we have to delete. We are not going to consider. We are going to consider only the variables which are same. Why we have to consider in that way? Why we have to consider this is, if you minimize this will get reduced to this. Let's check that. So in this entire equation, what is the common part? It is qs. What is the remaining part? After getting the common, it is p bar r bar plus p bar r plus p r bar plus pr. Now from this equation, if you take p bar common, if we take p bar common, it is r bar plus r. And from these two, if you take p common, r bar plus r. Okay, now this r bar r is going to be 1, and this r bar r is going to be 1, and if you reduce this, it is going to be qs p bar plus p. This p bar plus p is again going to be 1, so the final equation is going to be qs. So that's what we have done here. So what is the final reduced expression for all these 4 min terms? The final reduced expression is going to be qs. Similarly, we have to do it for all the subcubes. So in this entire function, how many subcubes do you have? We have 2 subcubes. We have done that procedure. We have done this procedure for this subcube, but we haven't done for this subcube. So how to reduce this? What we have to do? We have to find the variables which are same for all the values, all the cells, and we have to remove the variables which are different. So for example, if you consider this subcube, to all these cells, which are related to this subcube. What is the common part? This is the common part. This is RS, but it is in the representation, it is of the representation 1 0. So this is the common part. It is represented as RS complement, because it is 1 0, 1 is representing R, so it is R, and because S is representing 0, it is a complement form. Okay, so the reduced and we have to check for this side also. So this side, what are the values which are common, which are same for that entire subcube? Here the values that are same for this entire subcube, there are no values. Everything is different. So the common variable, the same variables for this entire subcube is 1 0. So it is represented as RS bar. So that's how the minimization is done by the K-map. Okay, so we have to what we have to do. So I am again expressing this entire point. It is for each subcube. So how many subcubes are there? How many number of subcubes are there in the given K-map that we have identified? So for each and every subcube, identify variables with the same values. So we have to identify the variables with same values. See here, so the variables with same values for this entire subcube is RS bar, so they are going to be same. So in the same way, okay, with same value, and remove the variables with different values. So the variables with different values has to be removed. So the variables P and Q, are they same for that entire subcube? This subcube, no. P value is changing from one point to another point. So that those different variables has to be removed and the same variables has to be kept. So the final reduced expression for this entire Boolean expression is QS plus RS bar. This is how the K-map will help you in reducing the expressions. So that is the basic logic of K-map, and this point, the point that we have discussed now, this point is very, very, very important to understand. If you are not able to understand this point, please post your comments in the please post your doubts in the comment section. We will try to express those doubts. Now next point is, every subcube can reduce n minus 1 literals. N is equal to number of variables in the function. So every subcube can reduce. So based upon the size of this subcube, every subcube can reduce n minus 1 literals, where n is the number of variables. For example, if you consider this subcube, so what is the 2 power m representations of this subcube? It is 2 power 2. So m is equal to 2. So every subcube, if you take this subcube, how many literals in the expressions can be reduced? How many literals can be reduced is the number of variables are 4. It is 4 minus 2, which is equal to 2. 2 variables has been reduced from each and this subcube, and similarly 2 variables, because it is a 2 power m expression is going to be 2 power 2. So n is 4, 4 minus 2 is 2. At the start of this class, we have said that unit codes are to be maintained to represent these variables. So we have said that. So generally, what we are under the assumption that 0 0 0 1 and later 1 0 and 1 1 should be there. But we have said that 1 0 and 1 1 has to be swapped. So after 0 1, 1 1 has to come, and after that 1 0 has to come. Why it has to be maintained is, in order to, so what is the benefit that we are going to get from this coding system is, if we do the coding system in this way, see here also 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 and 1 0. Why this has to be maintained is, there is an unit distance between the codes. So you take any two adjacent codes, the distance between them the distance between them is unit distance. So the discussion about unit distances and all those concepts has been done in our first section called number system. So why we have to maintain this unit distant codes? Why we have to maintain this unit distant codes means it is the concept which lets us to minimize the things. Because of the unit distant codes, because the codes are arranged in this way, because these arrangements are unit distant codes, we were able to do the minimization. How it is going to happen is, for example, assume that there is a subcube here and here. So here there is 1 and 1 here, and with this we are going to form a subcube. So don't consider these subcubes. Let's assume that this is the only subcube that we have in this entire 4 variable K-map. Now how can we reduce that? How the reduction is happening is, for example, if you consider this, it is R bar S, and if you consider this code, this is going to be RS. So if you bring S as common, then it becomes R bar plus R. So this R bar plus R is going to be 1. So 1 dot S is going to, S dot 1 is going to be yes. So here we have reduced the concept, the variable of R. So in this entire equation, we are able to say that with the existence of R, there is no use. So in order to reduce that, so this reduction is done. This reduction is done because there is unit distance codes. So the same part in the unit distance codes, only one variable will vary. So that point is very, very important. See here, you take any two adjacent codes, so you can wrap around also. You consider 0, 0 and 1, 0. If you consider 0, 0 and 1, 0, the distance is unit distance code. See here, what is the difference between 0, 0 and 1, 0? It is 1. So this is what we call it as unit distance codes. If you wrap around in this direction or this direction, so if you consider this and this also, so this is going to be unit distance codes. So that is the main logic behind the K-map. Because they are unit distant codes, we are able to say that because the difference between the two adjacent codes is one of them is going to be same and the other one is different. So the other ones are going to be different. With that we can eliminate one of the variable. So with this logic, it's very simple to understand. So this is the reason why the codes are swapped in this way. Here it has to be 1, 0, but here it has to be 1, 1. These codes are, why these codes are swapped is, that is the reason. Hope you got the clarity on this concept. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the latest updates. And if you have any doubts regarding this concept, please post your doubt in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.